In today's video, we have an astounding narrative to unfold before your eyes. It's the tale of a man of humble origins, a bartender by profession hailing from the diverse terrains of Australia. His name, a moniker as simple and relatable as his occupation, is Dan Saunders. Dan, just your everyday man, became an unsuspecting player in a thrilling saga that stemmed from a glitch in an ATM machine. This glitch, unknown to Dan at the time, was an extraordinary anomaly. A system fault so rare and unexpected, it's about as likely as finding a needle in a haystack. This malfunction in the automated banking machinery gave Dan an astounding access to an amount of wealth that would leave even the most affluent among us awestruck. It was a balance that read an earth-shattering $16 million. Yes, you've heard right, ladies and gentlemen, the figure stands at an astounding $16 million. Dan, a regular hardworking guy with an unassuming job, found himself thrust into a circumstance that most of us can barely fathom, let alone dream of. The night it all began saw Dan attempting a simple task, one we all engage in on a regular basis: withdrawing cash for a night out with his friends. This routine act, however, was about to take an unexpected turn and mark the beginning of an extraordinary voyage. As Dan keyed in his request on the ATM, oblivious to the impending windfall, he was caught completely off guard when the machine began spewing out more money than he'd requested. This continuous shower of cash was a surreal sight, one that Dan could hardly believe. As the money kept pouring out like a relentless tide, Dan was faced a moment of stupefied disbelief. He quickly grasped that something was awry, something out of the ordinary was taking place. Rather than panicking or reporting the glitch, Dan made a decision that most of us might find contentious. He decided to seize this unexpected opportunity that fate had thrown his way. Dan, in the face of this bizarre happening, decided to maximize his gain from the situation. He began withdrawing large sums of money over and over again, seizing upon this unexpected lottery. His withdrawals escalated, the numbers soaring higher with each passing day. Over time, the amount that Dan had discreetly amassed swelled into a staggering figure, a whopping total that stood at an awe-inspiring $16 million. An astonishing account of luck and audacity, isn't it? He withdrew as much money as he could, and over time the amount reached a staggering $16 million. With his newfound wealth, Dan's life took a drastic turn. It was a seismic shift that caught everyone by surprise, especially those who knew him best. This wasn't simply a change, it was an evolution. The humble and hard-working Dan they knew, who had spent countless hours behind the bar, serving drinks with a friendly smile, had transformed into someone almost unrecognizable. The first major change came when he bid goodbye to his job as a bartender. He walked into the bar one day, amidst the hustle-bustle, and handed his boss his resignation. While the news was met with surprise, even shock, Dan remained composed and resolute. The dim, cozy bar that he had known as his second home now belonged to his past. In place of the mundane, monotonous routine, Dan embraced a life of luxury and extravagance. He moved into a grand mansion that overlooked the city, a far cry from the small rented apartment he had previously called home. His passion for cars was finally unshackled from the financial restrictions he had been subjected to. He bought pricey, high-performance vehicles, each than the last, and turned his garage into his personal showroom. But his indulgences extended beyond material possessions. Dan was a man of curiosity, with an insatiable lust for life. He loved exploring new places, and this newfound affluence gave him the opportunity to travel the world like never before. He visited the most exotic locales, from the sun-kissed beaches of Bali to the snow-capped peaks of the Swiss Alps, leaving no corner of the world untouched. He reveled in unique experiences, indulging in the finest of wines and the most exquisite of cuisines. The world was his oyster, and he was determined to make the most of it, to savor every flavor, every experience, every moment. His life was now filled with all the things he had only dreamed of before, a testament to the power of fate and fortune. He bought expensive cars, traveled the world, and indulged in all the things he had only dreamed of before. But as they say, all good things must come to an end. It was a sunny afternoon just like any other, yet this particular day had a different rhythm to it. Dan, a name that had become synonymous with expensive cars, trendy clothing and glamorous parties, was going about his usual business, unaware that shadows were privy to his every move. His lifestyle had skyrocketed from mediocre to extravagant in just a matter of months. A transformation that caught more than just the envious eyes of his neighbors. Like a moth drawn to the flame, his sudden wealth attracted attention. It beckoned curiosity. It whispered tales of enigma. and before long, it had drawn the eyes of the law. The authorities, puzzled by the swiftness of his ascension, decided to place him under a discreet investigation. They began by probing into his personal life, his acquaintances, his business dealings. They meticulously followed the trail of money he had been carelessly spending. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, and just as they say, the longer the lie, the truthier it looks. It was only a short while before they noticed the irregularities. The peculiar patterns of ATM withdrawals, the unexplained and exorbitant amounts, the traces all led back to a glitch in the ATM. A glitch that had been Dan's gold mine. The net started to close in around him. The once carefree Dan was now constantly looking over his shoulder, the paranoia building with each day. Eventually he was caught, leaving a trail of shock and disbelief among his circle. The man who was once the life of every party was now the headline of every news, facing serious legal consequences for his actions. He was charged with fraud, an accusation that carried the weight of his ill-gotten wealth. Money laundering was yet another charge pinned on him, further adding to his downfall. The court ordered severe punishment, a punishment that seemed fitting for his audacious actions. He was ordered to repay the entire $16 million he had withdrawn. This narrative imparts an enduring lesson. The allure of shortcuts and easy cash often comes at a steep cost. We all are tempted by the charm of exploiting a mistake or loophole, a chance to bypass the hard and long process. However, we hardly consider the aftermath and the possible severe consequences that follow these seemingly harmless actions. Dan's story mirrors this harsh reality. It stands as a sobering tale of how unchecked greed and dishonesty can lead to a tragic downfall. It narrates how Dan, a regular honest man, was lured by the glitter of easy gains. The choice was simple: to exploit a glitch, a loophole that seemed too good to pass up. Dan convinced himself that it was a harmless act, a simple exploit that wouldn't harm anyone, but he was mistaken. The repercussions were severe. His life went spiraling down the drain. Once a respected individual, he was now ostracized by society. His reputation ruined, his relationships destroyed. The quick buck that once seemed worth it cost him his entire life. So the next time you stumble upon a glitch or an opportunity that shouts too good to be true, remember Dan's tale. Remember the ruin that too good to be true opportunities brought him. It's always preferable to choose the right path, even if it means dismissing a tempting opportunity to make a quick buck. Thank you for watching today's video. We're delighted to have shared this incredible journey with you. If this story kindled your interest, we'd definitely love to hear from you. Your positive responses, your likes, they really mean the world to us. They help fuel our passion to bring you more enthralling content. So if you enjoyed what you watched, we sincerely hope you'll take a moment to hit the like button. Become a member of our growing family by subscribing to our channel. This simple gesture allows us to reach out to you with more intriguing stories and thought-provoking insights in future. It also helps you stay updated with our latest content. So why wait? Be a part of our mission to explore the unexplored, to uncover the hidden, and to delve deep into the fascinating world of stories. And remember, our journey is far from over. We have many more gripping tales and illuminating narratives on the horizon, so keep your eyes peeled for our forthcoming content. Stay curious, stay excited, and as always, stay tuned for our next video.